Tonight I saw a lot of growth in our team. A young team that doesn't have a lot of experience. I thought we matched up very well and played with great energy and effort against a very good basketball team that's very well coached. And for us to have success the remainder of the season, we'll have to play at that type of level in practice and in games. Obviously, we're going to have to address dribble penetration and blockouts after dribble penetration, especially with post players. I just lit into our players somewhat because I don't believe in moral victories, and I know that they don't either, for the most part, especially the upperclassmen. But we need to understand that just because we're close to Syracuse doesn't mean that we're happy by any stretch, because we're not. Thank you.
Coach, 12 turnovers in the first half. Well, you guys think you guys could have had that a bigger cushion there at the end of the first half?
Yeah, I mean, we had 12 turnovers, and several of those are unforced. Olivia's going over and back, which is just completely unforced and uncharacteristic of her. And then April to throw it to the back of Belma's head when Belma wasn't looking. Those are two turnovers that we just normally don't have, and it was not against pressure in a sense. I felt we handled their pressure very well, and the turnovers that we had in the first half were more of our doing than Syracuse's.
Obviously, they're going to play that 2-3 zone. What was the game plan going in, and what strategy you worked out?
Attack, attack, attack. If you watch the game tonight, you'll see that we wanted to attack their press and attack their 2-3 zone, and that's what we did, and we found ourselves with a lot of open looks, whether it was driving to the rim or kicking, driving kicks. And we made shots, which I expect Amelia Gronish and Devonair Workman, our two junior college players, to do. We just came a few buckets short tonight.
Coming in, you're facing 2-6-4 twins. Basically, one goes in, one goes out. What did you guys do coming in to prepare for that? I mean, the starter, she had 22 and 19. What would you guys do coming in to prepare for that?
Well, she had a Bill Walton at UCLA type night tonight. We actually said that if we're going to lose this game, we're going to let her beat us. And in a sense, she did with putbacks and things like that. We were going to defend dribble penetration and defend the guards as best we could. And if the post players were going to beat us, they were going to be the ones that were going to beat us. And kudos to her, because she had a great game, probably the best game she's ever had in her career, and she played really well and stepped up.
And Navarro Workman, coming off the bench, she had 10 in the last game, 24 tonight. Do you see her maybe emerging as that bright spot off the bench? Something like you guys didn't have really last year. She honestly, maybe besides for the 3-point aspect, kind of reminds me of Reagan Ward.
If Devonair keeps putting up 24 and 11, she won't be coming off the bench. She'll be starting. I knew when we recruited Devonair that we had someone who was going to be a very good basketball player. And this is a kid who's still getting adjusted to everything that is Division I basketball. And I think that Devonair's future is only brighter and brighter. But with that being said, we've got to get Belma going a little bit more. She was very good early, but we've got to get her going a little bit better there. And then we've got to get a little bit more production out of another guard also, even though I felt like Amelia Gronish shot the ball well and really created good spacing for us, because you have to guard her at the line.
After coming off Sunday's game, how happy with what your team did to win? I know we talked about a quick turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't easy. I mean, it's 3 basically top 50 teams in the country. Now we're going to go to Green Bay, and there's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 people, and we're going to play the Gonzaga of women's basketball. And they're an incredibly well-coached team and disciplined and very, very good. For a young, inexperienced team, I don't think we could do anything better. I'd rather play 3 top 50 teams like this and show our kids what we have to do at the level that we have to practice and play out every day, and start 0-3. Or 0-2, I'll say. Let's say 0-2. I'm hoping we get the victory at Green Bay and we can get 1-2. But we've opened up with a very, very difficult schedule. And then we go to Howard next week, and that's not a pushover either. It's a very challenging beginning part of the year, and I'm glad we did it.
How would you describe this game? More of like maybe like I call it more like it was like a prize fight, back and forth. Is that how the feeling you had?
Yeah, I didn't think about that during the game, but looking back on it right now, yeah, I could see where you would think that. I would also call it a track meet in a sense, and they certainly have some track athletes, and we have some too. But I thought we matched them very well. I was very pleased with how we attacked them, and I thought we did a really good job with that. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting us. Appreciate it.